Do you want a delicious breakfast recipe that feeds a crowd and can easily be meal prepped ahead of time? A healthy breakfast potato and eggs recipe that is made on a single sheet pan and is perfect for busy school mornings or lazy weekend brunches. Hey there, my name is London Brazil from evolvingtable.com, where you'll learn how to make nourishing meals for your loved ones. And that healthy recipe today is this sheet pan breakfast hash and eggs. This past spring and summer, my husband started the process of recording his very first studio album. Tons of our friends and family came into town to help dedicate their time and talents. If any of you know me, you know that my voice is less than ideal to even be a backup singer on the album. So I volunteered to be the designated band chef. One of the most requested recipes from those weekends was the sheet pan breakfast hash with eggs. And it made it even better because I was able to gather up some farm fresh eggs from both my mom's farm as well as our buddy Nitten's backyard. Yes, he actually has like over 10 chickens running around in his backyard in the heart of Austin. So if you're ready to get to cooking, come on in and let's get started. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees. We'll first start off by preparing 2 pounds of potatoes. Russet potatoes are the best type of potato to use in a breakfast hash recipe. They are slightly starchier and crisp up nicely in the oven. Red potatoes and Yukon Gold potatoes can also be used, but have a waxier texture. So let's just go ahead and get rid of the waxy varieties and stick with the russet potatoes for today. It's completely optional, but you can either choose to leave the skin on or remove the skin from your potatoes. Since I want to get just a little bit of extra fiber from this recipe, I'll just be leaving the skin on the potatoes today. After rinsing and scrubbing the potatoes, cut them into 1-inch cubes. Add cubed potatoes to a large bowl or a gallon-sized Ziploc bag with 1 tablespoon of olive oil and 1.5 tablespoons of blackened seasoning. You can either make your own blackened seasoning mix at home, and you can learn how right up here, or you can just buy the store-bought kind instead. Just know the store-bought seasonings tend to vary in their amount of sodium and spice level, so you may want to adjust the amount you use accordingly. Toss the potatoes in the oil and seasoning until well coated. For this recipe, you'll need to use a sheet pan that's large enough to fit all of the potatoes, the vegetables, and the eggs. We'll be using one that's about this size. This is called a baker's half sheet pan and is about 12 inches in width and 17 inches in length, making it plenty large enough to fit all of this delicious food. Pour potatoes out onto the sheet pan and spread them in a single layer. Next, let's move on to preparing the vegetables. We'll be using 2 bell peppers and 1 onion today. My personal preference is to use a red and green bell pepper with a red onion. But you can just use the same color of bell pepper or a white onion instead. Cut the bell peppers and onion into 1-inch pieces. Add vegetables to the same bowl or Ziploc bag and toss with 2 tablespoons of oil and 3/4 teaspoon of salt. Pour the vegetables on the sheet pan with the potatoes and spread out in a single layer. Since the potatoes and vegetables will take quite a bit longer to cook than the eggs, we'll first pop them into our preheated 400-degree oven for 25 to 30 minutes. And while that's cooking in the oven, let's go gather up a few eggs. All right, I've got 8 farm fresh eggs that are ready to be added into that hash as soon as it comes out of the oven. But before we start cracking, we'll first make 8 wells in the center of the potatoes and vegetables and drizzle the wells with 1 tablespoon of oil to prevent the eggs from sticking. Crack 1 egg into each well. Now we're gonna pop this back into the oven for an additional 10 to 15 minutes. For over easy eggs, bake for 10 to 12 minutes. If you prefer over hard eggs, bake closer to 15 minutes. Oh my goodness, our breakfast hash and eggs are ready to eat, and aren't those colors just absolutely beautiful? And I'm just gonna drizzle mine with a little bit of this Yellowbird Sriracha sauce. You can also use ketchup if you don't want yours to be too spicy. And add a sprinkle of cilantro. And now comes my favorite part. I get to try a bite of this. There we go. I think we might just be having some breakfast for dinner tonight.
Good. That's good.
If you liked what you saw here today, make sure you check out these other healthy breakfast recipes. And don't forget to give it a big ol' thumbs up below. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss another nourishing meal to serve your loved ones. See you again soon.